6 o'clock GMT. Good morning. You are listening to the Starr Breakfast News on the last day of May 2024. I am Nurein Abass. The headlines in a jiffy. And coming up this morning, Office of the Attorney General indicates it has no objection by the request for a live telecast of the controversial ambulance bill.
If the first accused person desires that this matter be telecast live, find it same, we have no objection to it.
Also coming up, minority in parliament rubbishes claim by the majority accusing the erstwhile administration of giving tax waivers without parliamentary approval.
I don't know what he's talking about. We are in minority. We don't push government business or we don't program government business.
And later, eligibility of over 1,500 registrants challenged in the Ashanti region in the just ended limited registration exercise. Details of these stories follow up shortly, but first let's remind you of our affiliate stations across the country.
Starr News is coming to you live on Ultimate 106.9 FM in Kumasi, Empire 102.7 FM in Takrady, Zeps 95.9 FM in Zebila, Nissim 100.1 FM in Lamshao, My Star Radio in the USA. Also live on Facebook on Starr 103.5 FM and on starfm.com.gh around the world. This is Starr 103.5 FM. Starr News. Informed, in depth, in touch.
Many thanks to you for choosing Starr News. Now, the Office of the Attorney General says it has no objection for the request of a live telecast of the controversial ambulance case. It follows Minority Leader Dr. Kaisel Atuforsen instructing his lawyers to petition the Chief Justice, Her Ladyship Justice Tokonu, to request a live broadcast of proceedings in the ongoing ambulance trial. However, speaking to Starr News, Deputy Attorney General Alfred Tuah indicated his office will not protest any such development.
We have no objection to the request because we believe in transparency, we believe in accountability, we believe in fairness and openness. And so if the first accused person desires that this matter be telecast live, find it same, we have no objection to it. Because the Attorney General has on many occasions intimated that matters of public interest may, if possible, be telecast live for people to also know and make first-hand assessment of the proceedings. And this will help in curing any misreporting or mysterious reporting. So we have no objection to it. But we are also even saying that if we are going to have this one broadcast live, we may even add by saying that we have day-to-day hearings, so we can expedite this matter as soon as possible. It's subject to the decision of the Chief Justice because we believe in transparency. We believe in accountability. In any event, this particular matter is heard in the public space because in the courtroom, everybody has access to say. It's not heard in camera. So if they think it's to escalate it for all manner of people to view it live on television, we have no problem with it.
You heard the Deputy Attorney General Alfred Tuah. Meanwhile, a member of the African Union Advisory Board Against Corruption, Adam Senano, has also joined calls by the minority to have proceedings televised.
Well, yes, if the judiciary was so minded to approve this request, it will give us all an opportunity to, as it were, observe the inner workings of the proceedings. However, to be honest with you, the soundbite I have listened to, unless there's some other soundbite, I honestly don't see which part of that suggests that the Attorney General was trying to influence anybody. And I do have my own questions. I am quite concerned because I'm not quite sure whether there's anything to show that the Minister of Health at the time authorized this purchase. I think it would be also interesting to find out whether the Minister of Finance endorsed this effort by Mr. Atuforsen to have a letter of credit issued. It becomes even more intriguing when the company that supplied ambulances that were not fit for purpose, all this while made no effort to replace those ambulances or to fix them, and suddenly wants to pay 90% value. Honestly, it seems to me like a conspiracy within a conspiracy. Yes, it's a good request. It would definitely give us all the benefit of looking at what goes on. But I have major questions about Alphonse's authorization of this LC.
Adam Senano is a member of the African Union Advisory Board Against Corruption. In other news, this morning, the minority in parliament has rubbished claims by their majority counterpart of deliberately giving tax waivers without parliamentary approval. It follows a rejection of the $350 million tax waiver request for some 42 companies under the One District, One Factory initiative. The minority, through its leader, Dr. Kaisel Atuforsin, on the floor of Parliament during the recent emergency sitting, questioning the basis for which such waivers when government is in dire need of funds as a result of the economic crisis. But speaking to Starr News, member of the Finance Committee and MP for Bia East, Richard Champon, says the majority are acting in bad faith.
My brother, I'm shocked to hear this from the majority leader. So what I can say is that the majority leader and the MPP in Parliament, they are rather acting in a bad faith. Because one, we have not rejected any 350 million tax waiver or tax exemption. So I don't know what he's talking about. We are in minority. We don't push government business or we don't program government business. He is the majority leader. He is the chairman of business committee of Parliament. So every week they have a meeting, program, activities for the week. So if the tax exemption is priority, why should he remain in office for almost 1 year without calling the chairman of the committee, who is part of the majority, to schedule a meeting, call for members to meet either to accept or reject the proposal from Ministry of Finance? So why do you turn around to blame the minority who is not in charge of government business? Since when did we reject the 350 million he's talking about?
And that was a member of the Finance Committee and MP for Bia East, Richard Echampon. So listening to the Starr Breakfast News, now the Electoral Commission has revealed that the eligibility of over 1,566 applicants have been challenged in the Ashanti region in the just ended limited registration exercise. According to the Commission, over 128,000 applicants have been captured across all the 47 constituencies. So far, eligibility of over 7,000 applicants have been challenged across the country. Now, speaking to Starr News, Ashanti Regional Director of the Electoral Commission, Benjamin Bano Bio, said 824, representing 52.4% out of the number, were challenged for being underage.
We have what we call proof of eligibility. That's where we require either your Ghana card, passport, or 2 guarantors before you could be registered. Most of the applicants submitted 2 guarantors, and those who came with guarantors constituted 55.7%, passport 0.7%, and then a Ghana card 43.6%. In all, 1,566 applicants were challenged. 821, which constitute 52.4%, were challenged for being underage. Then 36.2% were challenged for not being residents of the electoral area that they claim to be. Then 11.4% were also challenged for not being citizens.
Now, before we go, let's bring you news from across the continent as former U.S. President Donald Trump has been charged guilty on all counts in historic criminal trial. He becomes the first former or serving president to be convicted of a crime as he bids to return to the White House. His sentencing has been adjourned to 11th July of this year. And that will be all for the Starr Breakfast News this morning. When you log on to starfm.com.gh, you'll find more news update there. I am Nurein Abass. Next on your radio is the sports team, and then Morning Star continues. Do have a great day.